Right. Mental Minute fam, ready for a mind bender. Today, we're going to unpack a concept that's kind of sneaky, kind of counterintuitive, and might just change how you see the world.
Sounds intense.
It is. It is. Have you ever heard someone try to tell you that, like, a natural disaster is good for the economy?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Because, like, think about it, right? All that rebuilding, all those jobs
Yeah, you
created.
better hire people to fix things, right?
Right. Sounds pretty good.
It does sound good at first, but
Ah.
that, my friend, is what we call the broken window fallacy.
Broken window fallacy.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued, but also a little afraid of windows now.
Let's stick with intrigued. The term comes from a story by a 19th century economist, this guy, Frederick Bastiat.
Okay.
And he imagined a shopkeeper whose son accidentally breaks a window.
Uh,
Right. Naturally, the shopkeeper is upset,
of course.
but everyone around him is like, don't worry, think of the glazier. Now he gets paid to fix the window. Everybody wins.
Okay, I'm already seeing the trap here.
We're right
They're
on.
only looking at, like, the
Yeah.
very immediate impact. What about the poor shopkeeper?
Exactly. That's the thing. They see the glazier getting paid. That's the scene effect.
The scene effect.
Right. But they totally miss what economists call the unseen costs.
The unseen cost.
The shopkeeper now has less money
Less money for what?
for everything else he wanted to do. Maybe he wanted to hire another employee.
Okay.
Maybe he wanted to buy new inventory. Maybe he just wanted to go get a nice steak dinner.
Yeah, a little treat.
All of those potential economic benefits are just gone poof.
So it's like robbing Peter to pay Paul, but with a broken window as the middleman.
A very expensive middleman.
A very expensive middleman.
And this fallacy, this idea, it scales up to way bigger events.
Okay.
Wars, natural disasters, even just everyday accidents.
So it's everywhere.
It is.
Yeah.
We focus on the visible activity of like rebuilding and fixing,
Yeah.
but we miss the fact that all those resources, the time, the money, the energy could have been used for something else.
Something better.
Something potentially more beneficial.
It's like saying breaking your phone is a good thing, because now you get to buy a new one.
Exactly.
But wait. What if you could have used that money for a vacation?
Uh-huh.
To invest in your business?
Oh.
To finally buy that fancy coffee maker?
All the things.
Suddenly not so great anymore.
Right. The broken window fallacy tricks us into seeing destruction as a source of economic growth,
When it's not.
when in reality, it's just a costly distraction.
A costly distraction.
Yeah, and this brings us to like one of the most important concepts in economics, opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost.
Yeah,
Sounds kind of like FOMO, but for economists.
not bad, not bad. It basically means what you have to give up to get something else.
Okay.
So in the case of our broken window, the opportunity cost is all the things that shopkeepers could have done with that money.
If you didn't have to fix the window.
If you didn't have to fix the window.
Okay. So it's not just about the money itself.
No.
It's about all those potential gains you're missing out on.
Exactly.
Because of that spending,
Mhm.
makes you think twice about those impulse buys, huh?
Oh, yeah. Big time. And it gets even more significant when we're talking about like large scale events.
Okay.
Imagine a country spending billions on rebuilding after a war.
Okay. Yeah.
What if that money had been invested in education, healthcare, renewable energy?
Now that you mention it, I remember learning about this idea called the peace dividend.
Yes.
The idea that if countries weren't spending so much on their militaries, they could redirect those resources to like actually improve people's lives.
That's a great example. And it really highlights the power of understanding this idea of opportunity cost.
Okay.
It helps us make better decisions.
About how we use our resources.
Exactly. Whether it's your own personal finances or a nation's budget.
So next time I see a news report about, say, a hurricane
Right.
causing billions of dollars in damage, I shouldn't just think about the immediate costs,
Mm-hmm.
but also about what else that money could have done. Kind of a bummer,
It is a little bit.
but an important perspective shift.
It is the broken window fallacy. It's not about saying, oh, those people shouldn't be sad about the hurricane. It's about understanding that there are unseen costs.
Unseen costs.
Yeah, missed opportunities.
And recognizing those can help us make better choices for the future.
Absolutely.
Wow, I'm already starting to see the world differently.
Yeah.
Like, it's like looking beyond the surface
Yeah.
and realizing that, like, every action, every event has these ripple effects
Totally.
that we don't always see.
That's what it means to be a critical thinker, a more informed citizen, a better decision maker in your own life.
Wow. Okay, Mental Minute listeners are getting a crash course in economics today.
They are.
But before we wrap up, one more question's been bugging me.
Okay.
What about those situations where destruction does seem to lead to improvements?
Right.
Like after a fire, a city might rebuild with better building codes,
Mm-hmm.
safer infrastructure. Isn't that a good thing?
It is a good thing.
Huh.
And that's a common point of debate.
Okay.
It's true that sometimes destruction can force us to innovate and improve. But the destruction itself didn't create that improvement.
Oh,
It was how we responded to the destruction.
the choices we made.
Exactly. That's what led to something better.
So the broken window fallacy isn't saying that progress can never come from destruction.
Right.
It's saying that the destruction itself isn't the cause of the progress.
It's more like a catalyst.
Okay, forces us to reevaluate,
Mm-hmm. And make changes.
which is why it's so important to focus on like proactive solutions.
Yes.
Instead of waiting for a disaster to force our hand.
Mm-hmm.
What if we invested in those improvements beforehand?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Right. Wouldn't that be a much better way to create progress?
Much more efficient.
Less painful, too.
For everyone.
It's like that saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
There you go.
Makes you wonder why we don't apply that logic more often.
Maybe that's a topic for another mental minute.
Ooh, I like the way you think.
Uh-huh.
But I think for now, we've given our listeners a pretty solid grasp of the broken window fallacy.
I think so.
It's definitely something I'll be thinking about a lot more.
Me too.
So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by destruction looking like it's a good thing.
Yeah. There's always a cost, a trade-off.
And sometimes a way better way to make progress.
Think long-term, real prosperity. It comes from investing in the things that really matter.
Like what?
Education, healthcare innovation, a sustainable future.
Not from breaking stuff.
Right. Unless it's like a bad habit.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Sure.
You can break those.
All right, Mental Minute crew, that about wraps it up for this look at the broken window fallacy.
It's been great talking about this.
Hope you learned something today and maybe started seeing the world a little differently.
Absolutely.
And as always, keep those minds sharp, and we'll catch you next time for another Mental Minute.